Hello students, in this class we are going to see some problems related to divisors. So in the last lesson, the last video lesson, we have discussed how to find out number of divisors, number of even divisors and number of odd divisors. Such type of problems we have seen in the previous problem. So I told you I'll take one more class on divisors with a little bit tricky problems. So here we have those problems, and you see, we'll solve one more problem in the next coming video lesson. That is, this also we are going to do. Right, this is the problem we are going to do in the next video lesson. The sum of the divisors of n, number of ways of expressing n product of two numbers, the number of ways of expressing n as a product of two numbers, such that their GCD equals to 1, and how to express this n as LCM of x comma y is equal to n, then how many such possibilities are there. So these problems we will discuss in the next video lesson. So if you subscribe, you will get the notification also. So please do subscribe to get the notification of new video lessons. Right, now we will solve this question. Okay, n is equals to 2 cube into 3 cube into 5 square into 7 cube. Then what is the first question is the number of divisors of n which are multiples of 9. So which are multiples of 9 means each divisor should be a multiple of 3 square. Okay, generally whenever we say number of divisors, what are the choices we are going to take? For the number of divisors, what we do usually, the number of choices for a 2 cube will be like this. We take no 2 means we will count it as one way, no 2, and we'll take 1 2 or a 2 square or 2 cube. This we have seen in the last lesson, right? So here we have 1 2 3 4 choices. This 4 choice simply we write the index of the prime number 3 plus one more extra choice. So 3 plus 1 we will write the number of ways of choosing 2, or the number of ways of choosing 2's is what? 3 plus 1 ways. Similarly for 3 cube we write 3 plus 1, and for 5 square we write 2 plus 1, for 7 cube we write 3 plus 1. This gives you total number of divisors, correct? So these are the choices we have whenever we want total number of divisors. But in this case, here we want to find out divisors. How many divisors are there? But we want multiples of 9. So if you want multiples of 9, we must include 3 square in the divisor. So 3 square into multiple, right? So multiples of 3 square we want. So multiples of 9 we want means multiple of 3 square. So 3 square must be included in our selection. The 3 square must be included in the combination of the divisors, right? So what we do here, multiples of 9 means for 2 cube how many choices we can take. For 2 cube we have 3 plus 1 choices. There is no change in the choices of 2 cube, right? And for 3 cube how many choices will be there? Because of we want 9 compulsory, it should be a multiple of 9, so we need 2 3's compulsory. So 3 square we can take, or we can take 3 cube. So there are only 2 choices for prime 3. Okay, so we'll take 2 choices for this, 2 choices. And for the rest of the numbers, for the rest of the prime numbers, for example 5 square, we will have 3 choices, that is 2 plus 1 choices from 5 square. And 7 cube we will have the choices 3 plus 1 as usual of finding that number of divisors, right? So therefore the total number of ways, or the total number of divisors of n which are multiples of 9 will be what? For 2 we have choices 3 plus 1. For 3 cube, for the prime 3 we have only 2 choices, because of we want at least 3 square, 2 3's we want. So 3 square or 3 cube can be considered. So therefore there we have 2 ways, 3 plus 1 into 2 ways into the remaining. For 5 square we will have 2 plus 1 choices. For 7 cube we have 3 plus 1 choices. So therefore 3 plus 1 4 into 2 into 2 plus 1 is 3 into 3 plus 1 is 4. So 4 to the 8, 8 is the 24, and 24 4s are, right, 96. Okay, so therefore the number of divisors of n which are multiples of 9, totally we have 96 divisors which are multiples of 9. Okay, I hope it is clear. Because we want multiples of 9, we want minimum 2 3's, 3 square in our combination. Maybe you can consider 3 square, or maybe 3 cube, right? So therefore we have two choices that we have to take. There is the only change in the problem considering the number of divisors. In number of divisors, we take all the choices for 3 cube. What are that? You may take 1, you may take 3, you may take 3 square, you may take 3 cube. We will have 4 choices. We say like 3 plus 1 choices, but here we want a multiple of 9. So this and this choice is not going to be included, because if you take only 3, it will become a multiple of 3 but not multiple of 9, right? So I hope it is clear. Now let's see the second question. What is the second question now in this? Number 1 and the number 2. Right. The number of divisors of n which are multiples of 4, which of the form, sorry, which of the form 4k plus 2. So what is the meaning of this? If you take any divisor, it should be in the form of 4k plus 2. You know, 4k plus 2, if you see carefully, it is an even number. 4k plus 2, any number is of the form 4k plus 2 is an even number, but every even number not is of the form 4k plus 2, right? No, sorry. So for example, if you take 2 3 is a 6, if you take a divisor 2 into 3, which is 6, see this divisor is of the form 4k plus 2. Why? Because of 6 you can express as 4 ones plus 2, so it is of the form 4k plus 2. Can you see that? So like this, how many divisors are there? So one of the divisor is 6. One of the divisor is 6, which is of the form 4k plus 2. Like this, how many divisors are there? You need to find. Now you see, what is 4k plus 2? If you observe carefully, 4k plus 2 is nothing but, if you see the form, this is 2 into, if you take 2 common, it will be 2 into 2k plus 1. So the divisors must be of the form 2 into 2k plus 1. You know what is 2k plus 1 is a odd number form. So therefore 1 2 we want, 1 2 we want, and we want odd number. So these type of divisors we want, which are of the form 2 into odd. 4k plus 2 form means what indirectly? 2 into odd number. Like 2 into odd number means, just now I told you 2 into 3 is one of the divisor, or 2 into 5 is also, you can see 2 5 is a 10. 10 is what? 4 2 is a 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2, which is again 10. So 4k plus 2 form, 2 into 5. But by mistake, if you take not 2 into 5, if you take two twos, what is the meaning of the 2 square into odd number? If I take, what it will become now? 4 5 is 20, which is of the form 4k, not 4k plus 2. But we want 4k plus 2 form divisors. So if 4k plus 2 form divisors, we need to calculate how many are there. It should be in the form of 2 into odd number, right? So 2 into odd number means exactly we want 1 2 in our combination of the divisors, right? So we want only 1 2 in the combination, so 2 into 1 odd number. Okay, so now how many ways you can select 1 2 from this? Actually, whenever we calculate divisors, what are the choices we are considering? 1 2, you can take 2 2s, or you can take 2 3s, but in which you have only one choice here, only 1 2 we want, and remaining combination of the divisors, it should be odd. Okay, so now what do we do here? So corresponding to 2, related to 2, we have only one choice. So for 2s we have only one choice that can be selected in only one way. And from 3, how many choices are there? Obviously from 3 you can select any number, any number. 1 you can select, maybe you can take the combination 3 with 3, or you can take 2 3s, or you can take 3 cube. So for the remaining, there is no problem, you have independent choice. 3 plus 1 ways you can select 3s. And for 5 square, how many ways you can select? Again 2 plus 1 ways. And for 7 cube is also odd number, odd prime, so therefore you have still 3 plus 1 choices. So total number of divisors which are of the form 4k plus 2 will be in the form of, for 2 you have choice only 1, and for 3s you have 3 plus 1, and here we have 2 plus 1, and here we have 3 plus 1. So 1 into 4 into 2 plus 1 is 3 into 3 plus 1 is 4. So 4 3 is a 12, 12 4 is a 48. So totally we have 48 divisors for this number 2 cube into 3 cube into 5 square into 7 cube, which are of the form 4k plus 2. So once again I repeat, if the divisor is of the form 4k plus 2 means it should be, if I take 2 common, you will get 2k plus 1. So the combination of divisors should be 1 2 into any odd divisor, 1 2 into any odd divisor. So 1 2 we want, so therefore there are only one choice, there is only one choice for 2's, and for 3 cube you have 4 choices, for 5 square you have 2 plus 1 3 choices, for 7 cube you have 3 plus 1 choices. The total number of choices will be 4 into 3 into 4, which is 48. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. Now the third question, you see, now for the third question, let me explain something about these forms 4k plus 1, 4k plus 3, 4k plus 2. Let's see first what happens with these forms. The number of divisors of n which are of the form 4k plus 1. Okay, now clearly you can see that 4 multiples plus 1 is clearly an odd number. Can you see that 4k plus 1 is clearly an odd number, so therefore divisors are must be odd. So what is indirectly, the divisors we want are odd divisors. 4k plus 1 is clearly odd number, so therefore we want the divisors of n which are odd, but every odd is not of the form 4k plus 1. Every odd is not of the form 4k plus 1. If you select 7, now 7 is not of the form 4k plus 1, it is of the form 4k plus 3. Can you see that? 7 is of the form 4 ones are 4 plus 3. So 4k plus 3. Though it is odd, it is not in the form of 4k plus 1. But if you consider 5, you see 5. 5 is of the form 4k plus 1. 4 ones are 4 plus 1. So these type of divisors we want. Like this, how many divisors are there? Now let's say you have 5. If I take 5 and if I take one more 5, 5 into 5, 25. What is this? This is 4 6 is 24 plus 1. It is also of the form 4k plus 1. So 25 is also one of the divisor which is of the form 4k plus 1. So like this, how many divisors are there of the form 4k plus 1? You need to calculate here. Okay, how to do that? Now first of all, you observe this. If two numbers are of the form 4k plus 1, if I take two divisors, one is of the form 4k plus 1, let's say instead of k, if I take 4m plus 1, one divisor, the other divisor is in the form of again same 4n plus 1. If you multiply them, what you get, let's see, this you get 16mn. Okay, and 4m into 1 plus 4m and plus 1 into 4n, 4n plus 1. Can you see this? From this, if you take 4 common, you will get some integer, say that integer is p plus 1 is extra here. So it is again a 4 multiple plus 1. Can you see? Whenever you have a number of the form 4 multiples plus 1, another number is of the form 4 multiple plus 1, the result of the multiplication of these two numbers will be again of the form 4p plus 1. So what does it mean? What is the meaning of this? The meaning is this: whenever you have a divisor of the form 4m plus 1 and another divisor of the form 4m plus 1, if you multiply them, a new divisor will be formed. A combination of two divisors will be again a divisor, but both the divisors of the form 4m plus 1, then the result is also 4m plus 1. So you take the combination of two divisors which are multiples of 4m plus 1. Okay, right. So now, but instead of that, if you take one is of the form, let's say 4m plus 1, the other is of the form 4n plus 3. If I take the combination of two divisors, out of which one is 4m plus 1, the other is 4m plus 3, what will happen? 4m into 4n, that is 16mn, plus you get after multiplication 4m plus 4n plus 3, which is what? This is the 4 multiple plus 3. So 4 multiple plus 3, it is not going to be in the form of 4p plus 1. Do you understand? So let's see. Here you see, whenever you have the divisor of the form 4m plus 1, one more divisor of the form 4n plus 1, then the resulting number is also in the form of same 4p plus 1. So like this, if you multiply 3 divisors or 4 divisors, there is no problem, you will get still of the form 4p plus 1. But whenever you multiply 4m plus 3 with the combination of 4n plus 1, you are not going to get this 4p plus 1 form. But now you see, if you take 4m plus 3 and another is again 4m plus 3, then you see what will happen to this. Whenever you take two divisors of the form 4m plus 3, the other is also 4m plus 3. What will happen? Let's see. 16mn plus 4m plus 4n plus 9 you will get. 3 3 is a 9 you will get. 9 I will write as 8 plus 1. Now can you see this is again a 4 multiple. This is again a 4 multiple plus 1. So whenever you take two 4m plus 3 divisors of the form 4m plus 3, if you take two divisors of the form 4m plus 3, the resulting divisor will be in the form of 4m plus 1. So you can take combination of two divisors which are of the form 4m plus 3. Now you can take combination of four divisors of the same 4m plus 3 form. For example, if you take one is of the form 4m plus 3, the second divisor is of the form again 4n plus 3, third divisor is of the form, let's say, 4p plus 3, and one more divisor if I take 4q plus 3, what will happen? This product will be in the form of 4x plus 1, and this product is of the form 4x plus 1, 4y plus 1. Then product of these two will be again something say 4r plus 1. Right? What is the meaning of this? Means whenever you take product of two divisors which are of the form 4m plus 3, the result will be in the form of 4m plus 1. If you take four divisors, then also the result will be in the form of 4r plus 1. Means whenever you take 4m plus 3 form, it should occur in even number. Even number of divisors if you take of the form 4m plus 3, then it will be okay. Okay means the resulting divisor will be of the form 4m plus 1. So what is the conclusion? Let's see the number what is given. 2 cube, 3 cube, 5 square, 7 cube. The number is 2 cube, 3 cube, 5 square, and I think the third number is 7 cube, right? 7 cube. So I hope you understood whatever just now I told you. Any number of divisors if we take of the form 4k plus 1, resulting will be again 4k plus 1. But if we take one is 4k plus 1 form, the other is 4k plus 1 3 form, it is not going to be in the form of 4k plus 1. It is not going to be in the form of 4k plus 1. But if we take one divisor of the form 4k plus 3, the other divisor is again some 4m plus 3. Okay, the resulting will be 4m plus 1 only. So you have to take even number of divisors of 4m plus 3 form or 4k plus 1 form, any number of divisors you can take. But you should not mix the divisors of the form one is 4k plus 1 and one is 4m plus 3. Resulting is not going to be 4k plus 1 form. Now one more thing, we want what? Number of divisors. We want number of divisors of what form? Of the form 4k plus 1. We want the number of divisors of the form 4k plus 1. So it says that we want odd divisors. This is the first thing you should understand, odd divisors. So number of choices for 2 should be nil. There is only one way you can select 2's from this, that is nothing but no 2. So for this we have what? 2 power 0. Okay, one way. So therefore the divisor should be of the form what? 3 to the power of a. Odd numbers we want because of odd divisors. 4k plus 1 means odd divisor. So 3 power a into 5 power b into 7 power c. You know this 5 is divisor which is of the form already 4k plus 1. So therefore you can take any number of b's here. Okay, any number of 5s, sorry, any number of 5s you can take 1 5 2 5 or 0 5. We have two available 5s. So therefore for b, how many choices we have? You know how many choices we have for b. So b can be 0 or b can be 1 or b can be 2. So any number of 5s you can take because of 4k plus 1 divisors. How many you multiply? Still you will get 4k plus 1. So therefore you have three choices for b. Three choices for b. Now can you tell me 3 is of the form what? Is it of the form 4k plus 1? No. It is of the form 4k plus 3. 40 plus 3. And 7 you can see it is of the form again 4k plus 3. 4 1 is 4 plus 3. So these two 7 and 3 are of the form 4m plus 3. So if you take 3 and 7, if you want to take, they should occur in even number. Okay, means 2 3s you can take, or 1 3 1 7 you take, or 2 3s 2 7s you take. So like this we have to take even number of times. These divisors, which are of the form 4n plus 3, should occur in pairs or should occur in even number. So therefore, how many 3's you take? A. How many 7's you take? C. So therefore, this A plus C should be, this A plus C should be even. Okay, then resulting divisor will become of the form, what is that? 4k plus 1. Okay, do you understand? So A plus C should be even. Now to get A plus C is even, what are the possible values of A? Where, what are the possible values of A? A belongs to, maybe A is maybe 0, maybe 1, no 3 if you take 0, 1 3 if you take, 2 3's you take, or 3 3's. So A belongs to 0, 1, 2, 3. And what is C belongs to? Can you tell me what is C? What are the possible values of C? No 7. Okay, so 0 you can take, and 1 7. 2 sevens means you can take A value, C value, sorry, 1, 2, and you can take C value 3 also. All the 7, 3 sevens you can take. C value is also maybe 3. But in this we want A plus C is even. So can you tell me how many choices are there for this A and C if you say A plus C is even? One is with 0. You can take 0 and 0. For A comma C, you count the choices now. You can take 0 comma 0, right? Or you can take 0 comma 2. 0 plus 2, A plus C will become even. 0 plus 2 you can consider. And one more word, 0 3 you cannot take. Now you take with 1 now. What are the possible values with 1 now? So you can take 1 comma 0. No, because of it is odd 1 plus 0. 1 1 we can take, yes. 1 2, no. Then we can take 1 3. Okay, with 1 we can take 1 1, which 1 plus 1 gives you 2, which is even, or 1 2, 1 plus 2 3 is odd, we don't want that. 1 3 is 4. Then with 2, what are the combinations we have? 2 with 0 we can take, right? And 2 1 we cannot take. 2 2, it's even, correct. 2 3 we cannot take. Then if you 3, you observe 3 0 we cannot take, and 3 1, yes, 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 2, that is 3 plus 2 5 we cannot take, and 3 3. So therefore you can say how many choices we have: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So therefore A comma C can be selected in 8 ways. So for these choices we got now 3 power A, 7 power C choices we got 8 ways. And for 5 power B, B can take 0 1 2. So therefore 3 choices. So that the total number of ways of selecting this ABCs is what? Or the total number of divisors. The number of divisors of the form, number of divisors of the form 4k plus 1, right? The number of divisors of n of the form 4k plus 1 is what? For B we have 3 choices, and for A comma C together we have 8 choices. So totally 8 3 is a 24. So you will have 24 divisors for this number n, which are of the form 4k plus 1. So we have done the 3 problems, very important problems these are, and we'll solve in the next class. Okay, these problems which I already told you, these are also some important models on the number of divisors problems. Okay, thank you for watching.